Hey, welcome to the vid, and in this vid I'm going to talk about what I would do differently if I had to recover from a DPDR again. Some of the mistakes I made and some things that I would do and some things that I wouldn't do that was different. And if you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name is Dan and I help people recover from DPDR and anxiety using one-on-one coaching or the Freedom course. And if you are a subscriber, then welcome back. And also just to let you know that I'm going to be announcing something very, very soon, which is absolutely going to blow your mind. You are really going to love it when it does come to DPDR recovery. So keep an eye out for that. But onto the video. Recovery can seem like one of the most difficult things that you have to go through. And now that I've gone through my recovery and I've been recovered a long time, I live a life completely symptom free, but I have sort of the benefit of being able to look at it objectively and actually consider what would I do differently if I had to go through it again. The first thing that I would do differently is to do my best to come to terms with my situation as quickly as humanly possible. And I fell into this trap, which I'm sure you have as well, of just continuously researching just to try and get that secret ingredient or that secret thing which I haven't heard about how to actually recover, because I so desperately wanted to get out of this. I was just like, I do not want this. I don't want to feel like this. I just want to get back to myself. And I was really fighting it and resisting it. I hadn't really come to terms with the fact that this is how my life is right now. I hate it. And I wish it wasn't here. And I wish I could just be like that person and that person who are just normal. But I'm not like that. And wishing and wanting, I could wish for the rest of my life and nothing's actually going to change. So the quicker that you can come to terms with the fact that this is where you are, then the quicker you can begin your recovery journey. The second thing I would do differently, particularly at the beginning, is to be more patient and understanding with myself. It can be so frustrating and annoying when you do find something that does resonate with you and then you try it and it starts to work and you get better. And then 2 or 3 days later, you might fall back right to where you began again. And it can be so demoralizing. What you have to realize is that recovery takes time. Even if you fell into this overnight and you just woke up with it, you're not just going to wake up one day, it's going to be gone. Because what has actually happened here is that slowly over time, you've been getting more stressed, you've been getting more worried, you've been getting more anxious, and your nervous system is starting to get more sensitized and more sensitized and more sensitized and stressed and tensed. And then all of a sudden it'll break. So that's why it can seem like it just happened overnight, or weed was the thing that triggered it, or I had a panic attack and that triggered it. No, that's not the thing that did it. The thing that did it was all the stuff leading up to that, and that is just the final thing that broke the straw on the camel's back, so to speak. The third thing I would do is to stop focusing on my symptoms. And I know that this can be really, really difficult, particularly if they're very strong, if they're 24/7, if you've just fallen into this and all these symptoms have just come out of the blue and you're like, where the heck has all this come from? I didn't even know my body and my mind could do this. So many people will spend so much time talking about their symptoms, focusing on their symptoms, assessing if their symptoms are there or not, assessing how their symptoms are changing. You really need to do your absolute best to realize that they are symptoms of anxiety. So when you get rid of and fix your relationship with anxiety, then the symptoms are going to fix themselves. Another thing I would do is to avoid worrying about if I'm actually going to get better or not. And this, I guess, is perhaps a little bit like acceptance. Because when you are in this, you can just sort of say to yourself, well, what if I never get better? You know, what if I'm like this for the rest of my life? And even if it's just a split-second subconscious thought that just pops in there, what do you think that's going to do to your anxiety and your fearful, hypersensitized state that you're already in at the moment? Of course, it's going to feed back into it and it's going to give you that feedback loop of negative stuff. So you are going to recover. There's no question about that. When you recover, that is up for debate. That's really up to you, but you are going to recover. And so if you even if you just tell yourself that, even if you don't necessarily believe it, it's better to tell yourself that than to worry about what if you don't recover. And one of the final things I'd do if I had to go through recovery again is that I wouldn't allow anxiety to dictate how I lived my life. So when I was going through it, often I would avoid things. I'd avoid coffee as well. I'd avoid going out. Sometimes I'd even avoid going out and getting food, just because what happens if I have a panic attack or I have DPDR when I'm out? Because what you're doing is you're subconsciously telling yourself, this is something I have to avoid. This is something I have to be scared of. This is something I don't want to do because it's scary. And so what do you think the effect of that is? Of course, it's going to feed back into your anxiety, and it's going to feed into your DPDR, and just keep it there for longer. So my friends, I hope this has helped. And look, if you do need help with your recovery, then you can join the Freedom course. It's already helping so many people right now. It's a step-by-step course on exactly what you need to do and when you need to do to recover. There is nothing else out there like it. It really is amazing. The link to that is in the description and also a pinned comment. So go check that out, and I'd love to see you in there. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.